Celebrities are known for often keeping a cool front on camera. But just like we common folk, they've also got moments when they couldn't keep their cool.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
But what happens when the person on the receiving end of their anger is another celebrity? These are the most unforgettable moments when celebs flipped out on other celebrities. First off, let's talk about that moment when Tom Cruise had to put Matt Lauer in his shoes. What was supposed to be a friendly interview on the Today Show quickly turned into a debate about Tom Cruise's life, and Tom wasn't having it.
I have never worried, Matt, about what other people think and what other people say. Katie, close your ears for a second, okay? You have said that Katie is the real thing. She is sensational. She's magnificent. Can you explain to me what she's brought to your life that hasn't been brought to your life in the past?
You know, I don't want to compare things. I just say,
I know you haven't mean that.
No, because but what it is, it's that thing where you just in life when it just happens, man. You know, you meet someone, and I can't even describe it.
Katie has mentioned that she is embracing or at least exposing herself and opening herself up to Scientology. At this stage in your life, could you be with someone who doesn't have an interest?
When Tom finally decided he couldn't take it anymore, he basically turned the interview into a lecture, scolding Matt about medical research like he was a misbehaving student.
It's very impressive to listen to you because clearly you've done the homework and you know the subject.
And you should. And you should do that also because just knowing people who are on Ritalin isn't enough. You should be a little bit more responsible in knowing
I'm not prescribing Ritalin, Tom, and I'm not.
Now, if you thought the Cruise episode with Lauer was intense, Sofia Vergara is in another league of her own. Sofia Vergara once had to endure an uncomfortable Tonight Show appearance alongside Gordon Ramsay.
How much weight did you gain? Did you gain any? You didn't get any weight. Gain any weight?
What question is that?
How much?
I'm not gonna say.
What, like 2 pounds?
No, I
Like
mean,
10 pounds?
whatever.
Where? What?
Okay.
You know, remember you were under oath.
Yes. Come on.
Oh yeah, on American talk shows, you must
A couple of pounds. It's okay. I was on vacation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I hear you love dessert. Are you a big dessert?
No one is perfect, Jay.
What started out as playful back and forth about the different ways of enjoying pizza turned sour. Ramsay made cheeky innuendos, mocked her accent, and even took a jab at her son's name. Ramsay clearly thought he was being funny, but the audience wasn't sure whether to laugh along or cringe.
Your son?
Yes, my
what's his name?
son. Manolo.
Manolo.
Yeah.
Manolo.
He's 19.
19
Manolo.
years old. Yeah.
Manolo.
Can you change that name?
Can I what?
No. Manolo, what does it mean? What does it...
It
Nothing,
means
it
Colombian
means-
caramel dessert.
Manolo is just a Hispanic name.
Yes,
Not
sir.
everything needs a meaning.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's correct.
Right?
It sounds like a paint.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my interview.
And that wouldn't be the first time that Sofia had to deal with an overbearing celebrity. Bill Cosby made Sofia's very first talk show appearance downright disturbing. Instead of talking about her career, he showered her with unsettling compliments, saying her beauty made men think of sin and that she made him feel young again.
You make me feel young again. You make me feel very excited. Look at me.
But don't die right now here, please.
What do you mean, don't die?
And next up is that moment between Kiss bandmates Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, which shows that sometimes the most annoying people are the people who are closest to you. During one interview, Simmons suddenly snapped mid-conversation and demanded the camera stop rolling. He turned to Stanley and called him out directly for disrespecting him in front of the world.
The baby.
Yeah, the imaginary baby. We get so many gifts all the time that it's hard to say what the best is. You know, obviously you can always make up stories or tell things about women and rock and roll and partying, but I think the best thing and the biggest gift we've ever gotten is 20 years of doing what we do. And that comes from the people, and that comes from their heart and soul. So that's a little more important than, you know, we can talk about, oh, there's so many women. Any idiot can get a woman when they're on tour, but this is a lot more important and a lot more heartfelt than the bragging about the other stuff.
Would you cut? Hold on 1 second. Cut this off for a second. Would you stop cutting me down in front of the camera? I don't go for that shit.
Go on.
I don't know, all of a sudden, like whatever I say, all of a sudden, don't listen to this idiot.
I guess they must have forgotten to cut that part out because his brief annoyance came to light in a big way. And then there's the iconic clash between Patrick Stewart and James Corden. It started innocently enough, with Stewart scolding Corden for looking bored during an awards show.
I want to speak to James here. It's James, isn't it? When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. You couldn't be more wrong. Oh, genuinely. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it. There we go.
To make matters worse, Stewart doubled down with a jab about Corden's belly being visible from his seat.
From where I was sitting, I can see your belly. And that was right over there at the back of the room. These people down here, you know.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on.
Corden wasn't about to take that lying down. He fired back, telling Stewart, "We can all see you dying right now."
You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
One more? Do you want one more? If you fancy the Jonas Brothers, cover your belly.
For whatever it's worth, I like your belly, so. But I would pay to see Sir Patrick Stewart dying on stage any day, so.
And for the people that haven't seen my belly, is there anyone who hasn't got a... It's just there.
Next up is that infamous moment when David Letterman ambushed Lindsay Lohan on live TV. She came on to promote her movie, but Letterman had other plans. He blindsided her with relentless questions about rehab.
You look remarkably well. Now, you know I have routinely made jokes about you and the activities, true and otherwise. You're aware of that, right?
I like that you say true and otherwise.
Yeah.
Not true and false.
Now, aren't you supposed to be in rehab now?
Do you not watch anything that goes on?
I do.
Tabloid now?
Now here's what
May 2nd.
You don't, yes or no, do you steal stuff?
Do you?
When Charlie was off on his little trip,
Lindsay was visibly shaken and tried to hold her composure, but eventually broke down in tears.
I've gone through a lot in life, and I'm looking forward to actually just taking time for me. You can't make a joke of it.
That's
so mean.
I'm not joking.
No, you're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Maybe one or two?
No, this is my show now. It's just a happy environment.
We've been here doing the show about 30 years, and there's still people whose names I don't know. Thank you. Let's show them a clip of the film. This opens Friday. A scary movie. You have to be in rehab May 2nd. Are you going to be there? You'll be there, right? Who's taking you to rehab?
What was supposed to be late-night entertainment ended up feeling like a public shaming event, and it remains one of Letterman's most criticized interviews to date. And that wouldn't be the first time Letterman would do such a horrific thing. He pulled a similar stunt with Paris Hilton, bringing up her jail time even after promising her he wouldn't.
New York City is exciting, though, isn't it?
I was born here, yeah.
Yeah, good for you. How'd you like being in jail?
Paris tried to shut it down, insisting she'd moved on with her life, but Letterman just wouldn't let it go. The more she dodged, the more he pushed, and the whole thing quickly went from awkward to downright uncomfortable.
And tell us, now looking back on that experience, what have we learned? What can you tell us? What's different about you going forward as you look back?
Well, obviously, it was a very traumatic experience.
God, was it? You know, I think
did it, so I feel like I can do anything
you
now.
can survive anything,
yes,
sure.
Definitely.
And I guess the food was just awful, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be good. It's jail.
Did you have three meals a day?
Yes.
Would you start with the breakfast?
Obviously.
What would the breakfast be?
If that wasn't cringy enough, actress Jenny McCarthy took things way too far when she forcibly kissed a young Justin Bieber and grabbed his butt on stage. Not exactly the kind of surprise a teenage star should have to deal with in front of the cameras. But this wasn't the first time Justin Bieber would be downright violated in the spotlight. At just 17 years old, he was bombarded with inappropriate questions by actress Leah Remini during a game of Would You Rather.
Okay, I know this is so on your radar right now. You're thinking about this every day. But what age would you want to get married, and how many kids would you want to have?
So, like 17, so...
17 kids?
No.
Get married at 17? Oh,
no, I'm 17,
right.
so it's like, it's like a while away, so I don't want to, like, think about this.
You don't want to jinx it.
She kept pushing him to choose between being naked on stage or drinking blended worms, brushing off his protests that he had little girl fans. Bieber's expression made it clear that he certainly wasn't having the time of his life.
My question, would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms? Answer Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't go.
Okay, imagine that. Imagine that wasn't a problem. Imagine there was no laws. Imagine it wasn't like weird like that.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do either. I don't.
You have to pick Justin Bieber.
Like I
will grab your face.
Hey, I saw that stuff you were drinking in the movie. That looked like worms. You could have probably drank that, right?
Yeah, I guess. If you guys seen the movie, Usher makes me drink this like protein, like green thing. Then it's so nasty.
Tastes like grass.
Yeah, and grass and like dinosaur pee.
Yeah.
Not that I would know, but...
Then came one of the most explosive meltdowns in radio history. While Sway and Kanye were having a lighthearted conversation about fashion, Kanye soon started screaming, "You ain't got the answers, Sway," over and over again.
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Sway tried to calm him down, but Kanye kept dragging Sway's clothing line while shouting about the millions he'd lost. To Sway's credit, he stood his ground, reminding Kanye that they were supposed to be having a civilized conversation.
Come on, chill out.
You
bro.
ain't got the answers.
Kanye,
you ain't got the answers.
I'm asking you.
You
a
ain't
question.
been doing the education,
bro.
You ain't been doing the education.
Kanye, calm down.
You don't have the answers though,
calm down.
because you trying to give me advice about something. You ain't got the answer. You ain't spent $13 million of your own money trying to empower yourself.
Yes, but I spent hundreds of thousands and putting out clothing lines at a smaller degree. All I'm asking you,
it ain't no Ralph though. It ain't Ralph level.
Let me ask you this: I'm asking
what's the name of your clothing line? We don't know.
Kanye,
you know what I'm saying?
Because I lost money, but that's not
exactly. And I could lose money on a higher level too.
Don't
think just because
I
got the most or the least money.
Let me finish my question, dog.
Man, man.
Let me hear the question.
You don't have
man.
the answers.
I'm asking you for the answer. It's a question. Why is it that you can't? You have money.
I just told you I lost the money because I did not have the knowledge of how to do it the right way.
So you don't have the money to do it. That's your answer. You ain't got to turn up, man. This ain't no fucking show, man. I'm talking to you as a homie.
No, it ain't no homie, man, because the thing is, the bottom line is,
man, everybody, you ain't got to turn up you ain't got to, hold up. Hold up.
Ain't no hold up.
Listen, bro.
Ain't no hold up.
It ain't got to be no hold up. I'm asking you a question.
Ain't no hold up.
I'm asking you a
question.
Ain't
no hold up.
What do you mean it ain't no hold up, man? We here talking as civilized people. I'm trying to understand your world because when I go to your concert, I'm curious about what you're saying. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you the questions.
And next up, we've got that moment when Kendall Jenner, who is usually calm and collected, couldn't hold back when Scott Disick took jabs at her for not being invited to her own birthday dinner.
She didn't have a birthday dinner.
What are
She
you
had a
talking
birthday
about?
party at a club.
I had a birthday dinner, Mom. By the way, I was the one that was literally like, all right, like, what about Scott's feelings, though? What's Scott gonna feel? Have I not?
That's true.
Have I
She
not?
was the one who said.
Great, and I heard that, and then you don't invite me to your birthday. But Scott, I'm saying sorry. What I'm trying, I would never not. That's not my priority.
You're like, you
that's not
first started
but
saying
can
I
you
didn't
let
have
me
a
speak?
birthday.
I'm out. This is so ridiculous.
God.
You won't let me speak, Scott.
Because
You're talking over me.
First of all,
exactly
you
how you are
started
right
saying
now.
you didn't even have a party or a birthday.
Even Ellen DeGeneres, the queen of comedy and lighthearted antics, found herself on the wrong side of the camera when she pressured Mariah Carey to drink champagne on camera, forcing her to reveal a pregnancy she wasn't ready to confirm.
Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should. My goodness. I can't believe it.
And finally, the most relatable meltdown of them all. Kim Kardashian losing it over cookies left in her rental house while she was trying to slim down.
Did I not say no to these cookies? Like, they have to be taken away. I gained 15 pounds. Like, this is a joke. I'm gonna throw them in the toilet. Okay, well then control yourself, Kim, because I like those. No, I cannot eat them, and I'm not joking.
There you have it. From public meltdowns to family drama, these moments prove that celebrities are just as unpredictable and human as the rest of us. Which of these celebrity brawls shocked you the most? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe because we've got more where that came from. And we can't wait to see you in the next one.